Hi, everyone. If you're like me, you look at Utah and you think of this couple on the right. Beautiful family, just kind of perfect life, white, probably LDS, probably only speaks English. But Utah is so much more than that. There's differences in language, there's differences in just status as far as like intellectual disability or lack of disability. There's differences in socioeconomics, and there's differences in other social factors. As you can see right there, 22.8% of kids in Utah schools feel that they're bullied. Um, Most kids in Utah schools that can qualify for a free or reduced lunch for their families, they don't take it because they, feel a stigma or a shame to it. The more that we can understand these differences as educators, the more empathy we can show, the greater effect that we can have on our students and making them feel comfortable and empowered in school. Um, so, these kids that we're teaching, most of them are going to come to school with preconceived notions, negative ideas that they've been taught about themselves by the world. Um, Thankfully, we have areas of Utah that actually see greater social mobility than others. Um, Salt Lake City is actually was determined to be a leader in social mobility um, throughout the 80s and the 90s. But even still, the numbers are pretty low. And as you can see in the United States, if your parents have made mistakes economically or been put in a poor position economically or socially, you're probably going to end up right back at the bottom of the barrel. Um, through social studies especially, we have an opportunity to demonstrate windows and mirrors, to give the kids an opportunity to see through the eyes of people like them, who think like them, who come from backgrounds like them, but also from very different backgrounds, to see through those windows and gain empathy for other people. Um, Social studies is in a unique position because, I feel we can give students great opportunities to be able to, see things through their own perspective. When we're covering, immigration periods, for example, in history and um, the early 1800s or early 1900s, it's important, probably to cover those periods where there was a lot of Irish or Italian perspectives that we all often hear about with Ellis Island, etc. But we can extend that to others and other cultures and allow students to, talk about immigration from their perspective. They can look up where their own ancestors came from, and of course, it's a melting pot. So we can deepen that understanding of immigration by extending it out to the whole class. Once again, we can give multiple perspectives. In history, there's the perspective of the slave owner and also the slave, and it's important that we give all perspectives on a situation. This will allow our students to feel more comfortable and feel like where they come from and what they value is involved. I think another important aspect with social studies is we don't have to engage in heroification. There doesn't have to be good guys and bad guys. We can just, show all these different unique perspectives and, really allow students the opportunity to come up with, what is important to them, what they determine to be true based on, just the evidence. And as I say, you can always tie curriculum back to their personal lives. History, geography, sociology, government. These are all things that tie directly, back into students' lives. And so, by teaching students what they can do as a person, giving them examples of people who look, think, worshipped, etc., just like them, and showing how they were successful, we can increase the self-efficacy of students and help them to be successful as well. We can make them feel, comfortable and involved in the process by giving them examples of how others were involved in the process and by allowing them to have a voice in the classroom. But multicultural education is certainly important, and I think it's been a blessing to learn more about it this semester.